stage. Big sack, heavy stone, splash. But he escaped, rescued by Greenpeace. Which is why I never buy their crazy cards no more.
A lady with a lot of lip. That's Brenda in Watching, starting tomorrow at 10 on ITV. Well, now George Bulman and Lucy McGinty are drawn by Scotland Yard into a maze of political intrigue and deadly danger in White Lies.
I've had enough, that's it, I quit. Give up, you win, I lose, you win, you choose. You stay, I'll go, you stay, I lose.
Doing anything later, are you? Oh, very kind. Please yourself.
Shop. Can't hear a bloody thing. It's all that racket. You can't hear yourself thinking there.
How did it go?
Well, young Keach is playing a stormer. He's good. Hand it to him. He's very, very good.
Yeah, well, we clocked 3. How about you?
Watch it, mate. Lawson. 2 wingers by the door. Fergal O'Dowd and Malachy.
85 pence, please.
I'll tell you something, Jimmy. If I never see one of these again, I shall not be sad.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't worry about it if I was you.
Keep the change.
Oh, charming.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Do I make it clear? Get out of here. Get out of here. Pack up, give in, go home, get out.
No reggae, mate. Rock off,
Can't hear a thing in the van.
Put it under the table. It was working all right in the test.
It's this racket.
Okay, Tattoo, who placed it?
Judy.
Hell.
So do we take him or what?
Question is, can Keach hang in there till we set it all up again?
Minicab Foxtrot, they're leaving now, over. Alf?
Scrub it.
Peter Pan for all stations. No action. Let him go.
Where's Keach?
Danny's gone.
What do you mean?
He disappeared.
Check again.
Gov, there are n number of officers in that pub, and Danny Keach is not one of them.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that the flying squad tie?
Yep. Oh, alma mater glorious.
This could be a mistake.
Just think, Lucy. Almost a quarter of a century.
You were made to be a private eye. Systems like the Met have no room for eccentrics.
They used to call me an individual.
Oh? Did they really? An individual?
Inclined to be something of an individual, instead of my confidential. I took it to be praise. Here, Eddie, then. Come on, come on. Bum.
Just got on your gun.
How much is that, Squire?
£4 each.
Ex-coppers who drink in the yard are creeps. G.K. Bulman, 1987.
480. Got change for a fiver? Lucy, Andrew Morrison and me are muckers. And him and me were rozzers together. Point duty, Oxford Street, 1961. A coal truck went over his foot.
Come on. What do you want?
So along comes Chummy, bold as brass. Would you mind holding this, he said, in the hand with the bleeding loot in it? Well, I didn't know whether to laugh, let him go, or what.
George.
Yeah?
Got a minute? Let's go to my office.
Right.
People don't tango anymore.
Well, don't you tell the Chinese. You put me out of a nice little learner.
That was a week ago. Well, 8 days. And not a cheep, not a trace.
Before then, your missing man checked in how often?
Twice a day. Phone call or visual if we had Obbo on.
But mostly, he was on his own.
He's very good.
Question.
Shoot.
Why would another Arab government stick its neck out, allowing the Syrian, what's his name?
Safir Amoura.
Yeah, to use their embassy to play silly buggers?
Amoura is a terrorist in tandem with being a diplomat, so his hosts could throw up their hands and disown him.
What sort of terrorist?
People's Front for Freedom and Peace.
Never heard of it.
They invent a new moniker every month just to confuse us. The boyos did them some very heavy favors, vis-a-vis safe houses in Europe, papers, escape lines, couple of mechanics. Eventually, even the frogs got heavy.
Will there be no end to this? I mean, why don't we just...
I'm just a simple copper. Do you want a whiskey?
No, I got this. But didn't your target seem perplexed by Danny's absence?
Nah, these bastards never give anything away. It's hard to tell.
Inscrutable.
Why, you know Conan Kidd.
Yeah.
So, either Danny was asked to, I don't know, keep a meet outside and we missed him, or he was hustled out between the table and the door by 2 operators we hadn't clocked.
Maybe Conan had him iced.
George, if Conan Kidd had iced Danny, he'd have had the cadaver dumped somewhere public, rubbed our noses in it.
Yeah, but the Syrian would have kept it quiet. Maybe he's got Danny locked in some bleeding dungeon somewhere, or done a Umaru Dicko and flown him out in a crate.
No, he's not been shipped out, that we're sure of. I'll have another, you sure?
It, maybe just a small one, eh? So, what is this then? Full alert for one missing detective?
Just C-13 and Special Branch, also 1 or 2 trusted people around the Met. Assuming D.C. Keach is still alive, I can't compromise him with a manhunt, not yet.
What was he posing as? Gun for hire?
Something like that.
So issue a warrant for his arrest.
George, as an ongoing operation against Conan Kidd and the Syrian close to the boil, I can't scare him off.
Plus, there's something else. Am I right? I mean, why are you telling me this?
Danny had a girlfriend. He was married, but he was OTS.
Bit previous with the past tense, aren't you, Andy?
His old lady would be crushed if she knew, if I...
Yeah, I know. Bit of rabbit ears, but I gossip there. Bango's chummy's married, so why don't you just go and have a quiet word with the mystery?
She doesn't know he's a Rosa.
So be from the Woolwich.
George, will you do it?
Why?
Branch will square you out of the slush fund. I'll pay you in cash, and this is between ourselves, okay?
Just tickle the doxy, nothing more. It's hardly worth a fee.
The moment you say she doesn't know nothing, I'll scrub her from the frame. But if she does know, in your judgment, well, then you earn your fee.
Right. Name the lady.
Cassandra Stanley, daughter of Ted, prospective MP for Highfield North, People's Republic of, expelled from his last constituency, 76, too much of a trot.
Beautiful. Got any more revelations?
George.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that the deputy commander of C-13 would involve us in a domestic affair.
Lucy, he didn't say find Danny Keach. The job looks after its own. It's just this angle, just this,
Just check out his mystery.
well,
Whose father just happens to be playing footsie with the IRE, and every mischief maker from the Bader Meinhof to the commissar of the Bulgarian Miners' Union.
he's stretched for manpower. The squad has 30 or 40 files per officer, and they're all ongoing, and they can't be shelved while the search goes on for Danny.
Oh, come along, George. It just doesn't tally. First of all, asking you to the yard like that, and then involving a firm like us in an undercover probe, when they wouldn't even cross the street to get you off a parking violation. You know their feelings in ex-coppers turned private.
Come on. Now the girl Danny Keach married.
Mrs. Danny Keach.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Szymanowski?
Penderecki.
Excuse me.
But Mrs. Danny Keach is Detective Chief Superintendent Morrison's only daughter.
George, do you reckon D.C. Keach is dead?
In a way, I hope so.
Poor man.
Yeah. Now, more at the spot that I showed you. There's a derelict crane. You can watch them up there midday onwards. Drake House is the far left-hand corner as you enter the old dock.
That's a bit pricey.
Cassandra Stanley's not short of a few bob.
What does she do?
She's a writer, syndicates, journals, magazines, writes on food and wine under various names. Jill Harvey, Bernard Longridge.
Is that her?
Yeah.
Extreme left, is she?
Now, Lucy, don't visit the sins of the father.
George Beaton. Well, I have to confess, I don't keep up with sporting life. Oh, hang on a minute, I'm just trying something else.
Thanks again.
Well, look at that view. Does this window open? Oh, it's breathtaking.
When you rang, you mentioned an idea for syndication. What sort of idea?
Sporting food. Racecourse restaurants. Restaurants near racetracks. Hampers for 3 days eventing. National Hunt sandwiches. Ideal wines for the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Does one eat...
It's locked, Mr. B. Security.
Lobsters.
Lobsters?
Does one eat lobster at Chatin in Kowloon or Dim Sum? Is it de rigueur?
That's brilliant. Yes, that's really brilliant. Sporting food. It could be a series.
You see, I'm not syndicate material myself, but with a few racing anecdotes, you know, Geoffrey Bernard, he's a great mate of mine. What do you say?
Well, I'd say you could be on to a winner. Oh, Earl Grey or Darjeeling?
Earl Grey, no milk, miss.
Oh, just, Cass. Just call me Cass. How did you choose me to hit with this idea?
Oh, chum of mine, young mate. Name of Danny. Danny Keach.
George Beaton. What exactly do you write with Sporting Life?
Oh, tips, form, previews. But I'm freelance. I'm not actually on the staff.
Well, your sporting food idea is very good, but would you mind terribly coming back again tomorrow? And then we could talk it through.
Now's not a good time?
No, it's just that I'd like to have some time to think about it and, well, hopefully come up with something constructive.
Sure.
Milk?
No, just as it comes.
Sorry, you did say.
Don't blame yourself.
What?
Look, lots of people have affairs. Really, it's nobody's business but yours.
Is Bob Anstruther still with the line?
No, he left last year. He went to join Rupert Murdoch.
I thought he had a heart attack.
No, thank you. No, it was a heart bypass. He looks 10 years younger, so they say.
Forgive me. Kind of obvious, checking you out like that.
No, very prudent, dear lady. Quid agas, prudenta agas, et respice finum.
I'm sorry?
Whatever you do cautiously and look to the end.
Oh.
Where is Danny?
Danny, I really don't know.
See, we had a date in the rub-a-dub, the boozer, last night, and he never showed.
Oh, well, that sounds like Danny. He's, always missing dates, you know, turning up late.
Tomorrow, then?
Yes, about 10?
Great. Right, darling. Great tea.
Right, Keach goes for his cigarettes.
McCarthy stops him, offers him one of his own.
Danny takes it.
Syrian goes for his pocket, lights it.
Falls it there. What's Zamora saying?
Would that we knew.
Quiet. Right, Judy. Well, Keach doesn't look worried.
Amura rises, they shake hands, and then he
And
leaves.
the camera stays with Amora as he goes to the exit.
We've lost Keach.
Kid out, McCarthy out.
That's where you gave the word, sir. Scrub it.
And there we were, all dressed up with nowhere to go.
Where was Danny? Judy?
I was too busy watching the targets.
Lawson?
Well, me too, I guess. I suppose Danny got the bird.
That's enough, Judy. Surveillance of his room in Fulham. Jimmy?
Nothing, Gov. He hasn't been back.
No phone calls? No letter to Mrs. Keach?
Gov, there's a general feeling we need to pull the lot. POT them in Rochester Row or Paddington Green and lean on them till they cough.
And that would deliver Danny safe and sound.
What if it was one of us?
And say he's had to keep his head down. Say one or more of the boys has been with him night and day. And say McCarthy's cigarette pack contains details of an arms requirement. And say D.C. Keach is alive and well and running with the ball.
There's one more thing, Gov.
Well, spit it out.
So what the hell was GBH and his sidekick doing up here last night?
That man is an official do not touch.
Official leper?
He's undertaking government work.
Have you cleared it with the 6th floor?
Much as I value these informal briefing sessions, Sergeant, I am still empowered to make certain decisions of an operational nature.
Out of order.
So what's he doing, GBH? What's his brief?
I'm going to have to ask you to trust me.
Jesus Christ.
If your old man's bored with fish, turn it into something sweet. Oi! Scream for cream. Cream is absolutely natural. Cream is absolutely pure. But you've got to get the real thing to be absolutely sure. The pastoral or carbonara make you famous near or far. Oi! Scream for cream, here come the strawberries. Oi! Scream for cream, anyone for tennis. Oi! Scream for cream.
Almost everything the world admires has been copied at some time or other. Stones that have deceived jewelers. Banknotes that have confused banks.
At 350,000.
Even paintings that have fooled the art world. In our opinion, however, there's one original that is yet to be equaled. Special Brew from Carlsberg.
Each and every day, TSB grants over £1 million in personal loans to its customers, swelling their bank accounts by just the right amount to help them pay for a new car, a new kitchen, or whatever they've set their hearts on. Ask about a personal loan at your nearest branch of TSB, the bank that likes to say yes.
Renault for him, Renault for her, Renault for you. At Renault Manchester, Blackfriars Road, Salford.
Stone me, it's that just cooked taste. Don't you insist on Walker's crisps?
Where's the patient?
Follow me.
Let's take a look at the old lump.
Temperature's rather high. I'll soon fix that. Circulation's fine now.
That's a relief.
A 3-star service care plan gives you British Gas on call. An annual checkup, priority treatment, parts and labour, all for around £1 a week.
All part of the service.
British Gas. Energy is our business.
Please sit down. When you left, I phoned Sporting Life
Uh-huh.
and asked to speak to their George Beaton.
You won't get much joy there, I'm afraid.
Oh, and why's that?
I lied to you.
Well, that's a refreshing draught of frankness. Who are you? What exactly are you up to?
Oh, hell. George Bulman, at your service.
What paper do you write for?
I'm an inquiry agent.
A what?
I'm a private investigator.
You?
Yeah, that racing food story I gave you, that was a Trojan horse, a subterfuge.
I don't understand.
I've been retained by Danny's family.
Divorce?
I never touched divorce. Hey, do you mind if I stand up?
So what?
Well, I've got this drink problem. It's a shortage of funds. Now, normally I'd never touch a case like this, but you've got to eat, haven't you?
A drink problem?
Yeah, I can't afford to pay for the bloody stuff. They want me to buy you off.
You were right. You are in a seedy profession. Anyway, I haven't seen him for a week.
A week?
6 days to be precise. And Mr. Bulman, if I ever see him again, I'll see him again. It's up to him.
If you ever see him again...
He's got some sort of problem.
Ain't we all?
Look, the last time he came, I do happen to know what he does.
Oh? What is that?
CID, out of Rochester Row, 230 burglaries a week, drunks, brothels, cheap hoodlums. He says it's really seedy.
Do you love him?
What? Love? I think maybe I do.
You'll probably never, ever see Detective Constable Danny Keach again.
Why not?
Because his bleeding life is in danger, Miss Stanley. And if you mention that to a living soul, I'll make sure you spend the next 12 months in Holloway. And don't phone me if you've got a number for him. Probably blow his case. Anyway, they're probably tapping your phone.
Mine appetite I nevermore will grind on newer proof to try an older friend. A god in love.
George Bulman.
Ace Lawson.
Enter.
Even to thy pure
And most loving breath. Ace Lawson. DX now, I hear.
Yeah. Your little tete-a-tete with our deputy commander at the yard.
Yeah?
Can I, What's all the clocks?
Time waits for no man. What's eating you?
George, we're into deep water with this Danny Keach business.
Is this going in your notebook?
Actually, no.
Well, it's bleeding going in mine. Proceed.
I don't know how far Morrison has put you in the picture.
I didn't think you would.
I take it you're aware we are trying to make a case against certain Irish gentlemen.
Conan Kidd and Joe McCarthy, don't ponce about.
Nasty monkeys, George. It's just, what I'm worried about is a civvy like you being in the frame. We don't want to lose the business on Kidd.
That's your problem. My brief, Ace Lawson, is to explore very limited avenues. Not on the face of it, connected with your operation. Try to ascertain whether Danny Keach is alive or dead, and then hand the parcel back to you lot. Matters of a criminal nature, like the ongoing investigation of the Mick firm, that's it's none of my concern.
Well, George, I'm a much relieved man.
I'm very happy for you.
It's just, we got developments fast. Conan and the Syrian are getting set for some happening. And either we move in and crowd them, thereby scaring them.
Maybe cost Danny his life.
Or we assume Danny boy is out of touch but still operating and sit back and wait.
If I can't raise him by 12 noon tomorrow, you should crowd the bastards.
Even if Keach is alive?
He knew the name of this game when he volunteered. Right?
I've forgotten you're a hard man.
Just practical. STG, you were just leaving.
Ask Morrison about Danny's, You know we have to go through a psychological profile in 13.
Yeah.
George!
Ask to see Danny's.
Are you there, George? George!
Lucy,
We're at the Menai Bridge, 20 miles or so from Holyhead.
so she didn't run to her father, the terrorist's friend?
Not unless he's in Welsh Wales.
Well, don't draw attention to yourself.
George, will you give me a break?
And Lucy, do not, repeat, do not follow her if she gets on the Irish ferry. Check?
Why not?
It's called self-preservation. Comprendi?
Capiche, George, I have to go.
And both of these are diplomatic bag, are they?
Exactly. Here's our manifest. 2 crates containing radio items. These are the items?
Mm-hmm. Sign here, if you would, Mr. Amara.
Amura. You can tell if they've been opened.
My dear sir, we wouldn't dream of it.
Good.
Danny Keach, Esquire?
At Norweb and Manweb, to our Super Saver Sale. Save £20 on this Electra fridge freezer, auto fridge defrost and drinks dispenser. Save £30 on this Belling slot-in, double oven, ceramic hob. Save £50 on this Hot Point washer dryer, 1,000 RPM spin speed and condenser dryer. To free delivery in the Super Saver Sale at Manweb and Norweb.
Switch on to better value.
This is a new lager. It's called Caliber. It's brewed like any other lager, hops, barley, you know, the kind of thing. But then they take all the alcohol out. This seems like a very funny thing to do, until you find out that it's brewed by Guinness. Then you have to take it seriously.
To celebrate 200 years of cricket, tomorrow the Sunday Times is giving away this magnificent cricket wall chart, absolutely free. Followed by 4 sets of stickers of the world's greatest cricketers, also free. Collect top-scoring batsmen, all-time great bowlers, and brilliant all-rounders. It builds into a super souvenir every cricket fan will want to keep. Don't be caught out. Get your cricket wall chart free tomorrow, only with the Sunday Times.
Heinz has got the taste that gives us all a thrill. It don't run, 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 it don't run, run. Heinz is liquor tasted so it never will. It don't run, 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 it don't run, run. Yeah, it tastes so fine. Yeah, it tastes divine. Oh, but it takes its time. It don't run, 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 it don't run, run.
There's nothing like the rich tomatoey taste of Heinz ketchup.
Gonna want it, gonna want it, gonna want it, gonna want it. Body active, body passive, body slim and body massive. The way we're living today, still gonna want bottle.
Whole milk,
bottle,
skimmed milk,
bottle,
semi-skimmed.
Bottle, gonna want bottle, gonna want bottle, gonna want.
Bulman.
Yeah.
How did you know where to find me? I was on a meet.
I phoned your office. My work is done.
And we can scrub the doxy from the frame.
Au contraire. She's with our man even as we speak.
Where?
Anglesey.
Wales?
Yeah, Holyhead. Looks like your Danny's still working.
What the hell's she gonna do with it?
That's for you to find out, innit?
Fast result, George. I'm impressed.
Sheer luck. What worries me, though, is why you didn't handle it yourself in-house.
Don't underestimate yourself. Wrong approach and Cass Stanley would have run to Daddy. All we need is some trot politician muddying these delicate waters. Just off the record, George. How do you read it?
Me? Well, Holyhead, it has to be something going in and out of that sceptic isle across the water, eh? Or someone.
The Syrian took delivery of 2 crates this afternoon. Diplomatic clearance.
What was in them?
Wire-guided ground-to-air handheld missile launchers, times 10. US manufactured, just to confuse us.
Looks like your show's back on the road, then. Whenever you used to do that, Andrew, it always presaged something unorthodox.
George, maybe I'm taking a chance here, but I'm inclined to keep my lads back for a few hours, say till tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, I don't want to involve Lucy in this any longer than it takes to get somebody out there soonest.
I would be grateful, George, if you'd take a run out to this seaside town. Suss it out, see what you make of it. It's delicate. You and your girl could pursue the family gumshoe angle. She seems to have bought that.
So you are tapping her phone?
Too bloody true, chum. You think this is the Salvation Army?
Yeah. So, what have we missed?
Called to mother?
Not Ted Stanley.
No. Mother and father are separated. Marital incompatibility.
Tell me about Danny's psychological profile.
I can't, George. It's confidential.
Is it? Does it affect this case?
Absolutely not. Will you go?
Sure. If only to find out exactly what your game is, Andrew Morrison.
Same as it ever was, George, old friend.
Yeah, excuse me.
Same as it ever was.
Chancer Morrison, I used to call you. But you've always been well able, if you'll forgive me for saying so, to look after number one.
You know what your nickname was on the top floor?
Yeah, GBH, so are you?
The Scholar.
Oh, the Scholar, eh? Yeah, if this gets naughty, how close would my backup be?
I'll ask Anglesey's special branch to put a team in tonight. Danny wouldn't know their faces. 2 guys and a girl. But only for emergencies, George.
Right.
They won't know the full story.
No kidding. I wonder who does.
Take me too hard.
I've never had much to do with him. What is it, Sunday? Tell that him in on any time.
Hi. Evening. Red Escort. Golf convertible. That's me. You must have thought I was following you. Well, quite a coincidence, though.
Yeah, well, I couldn't resist the look of this place. I'm getting the ferry tomorrow. Going to see my boyfriend.
Oh, what time?
2:45.
And how long does it take?
It's about 3 hours to Dunleary.
Are you Irish, then?
No, I'm Scots, but I've got lots and lots of Irish relations from Kerry and Fermanagh.
What, so both sides of the border?
It's not really much of a border, is it?
Irish politics, they're a bit beyond me.
A woman is only human. This you must understand.
Oh, have a nice trip.
Thank you.
She's not just a plaything. She's flesh and blood, just like a man. If you wanna do right all day, woman.
Hello, sailor. They stayed at the castle.
Oh.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Well, so far they've made no phone calls and spoken to no one except me.
You?
Yes. She and I exchanged a few words last night. Well, she noticed the car on the way here.
But you didn't stay at the same hotel.
Why not? I told her I was getting on the Irish ferry, and I made out that I was mildly pro-Republican.
Well, couldn't you just been the Avon lady?
No.
Anybody else turn up? Any strangers?
No? Why?
Well, Morrison promised some backup.
Well, they must be good, because so far they've been invisible.
Bloody Morrison. Look, if you could engage her in conversation, it'd give me a chance to approach our hero on his own.
I'll think of something.
Hey, you know, this frog motor of yours only gets frog radio.
C'est la vie, chérie.
Con and Kid took a trip down the Thames earlier this morning.
Ah.
In a water taxi.
Met the Syrian, did he?
No. Kid stood with a bloke on our five. Didn't seem to know each other, didn't speak.
Who was he?
Prospective candidate for Parliament, one Edward James Stanley.
Maybe coincidence?
Yeah. Any news from Bulman?
Hello? No, not yet. Okay.
We'll have to move soon.
Leave it till noon. Then we'll lift them.
Do you know me, Danny?
GBH. Morrison sends you?
Morrison's not here. It's me and my civvy partner, and your lady. When did you know? When did you know that you lost your bottle?
I was stretched. You know? 11 weeks with these bastards. I didn't mind at first. I enjoyed it, actually. Yeah, I was Jack the lad. Mix reckoned I was kosher. The firm loved me. So good, they used to say.
You still do?
Wait till the air I bottled out. Oh, Jesus. If only Morrison had moved 11 nights ago. When I knew the squad wasn't going to bust us, George, I was hit with fear. Bloody palpitations, blind panic.
Spots before the eyes.
How do you know?
Because, my son, look, you're not the only undercover rodder that's ever been struck with that phenomenon. I was once so scared, I was petrified. I mean, I could not ruddy move. I thought my heart would stop forever. You're not unique, and you're not alone.
I am now.
Meaning?
Burnt my boats, right?
Nah, not necessarily.
Everybody knows.
Nobody knows. Hey, does Cat Stanley know?
Christ, no. She thinks I'm a division tech from Rochester Row.
Yeah, brothels and pickpockets.
I'd like to tell her something.
Yeah, right, so nobody knows that you balled out 11 nights ago except thee and me.
Morrison must have worked it out.
He figures that you're either dead or still working. But Morrison knows I'm here to see you. Waiting my message.
And?
Hate to see a good bloke chuck it all away. Hey, can you pick it up again?
What will you tell Morrison?
Well, I'll tell him that you were so closely watched that you broke all contact. Will you do it?
Would you do that?
The least I can do. I mean, yeah, but for the grace of God, etc.
You're a good man, Gunga Din.
Look, don't go back into the hotel. There's a frog motor in the side road. Get in the back of it and stay out of sight. I'll phone the yard and say we made contact.
What about Kath?
I'll tell her you're going back to your wife.
You drive a hard bargain.
Yeah.
This time, there will be no mistakes. We've got so many men in there, there's only one table they can sit at. Right. The crates will be in a van to be parked at a nearby location. The moment Amora identifies the location, we mark the van. Danny and Joe McCarthy will proceed to the vehicle and we tail them to their next RV. Con and Kid will take Amora to his car and hand him a briefcase containing 3 kilos of heroin.
Thought this was an arms bust.
Horse is international currency. The boyos liberated some from a source in Dublin to pay the Syrians. Any question?
When did Danny surface?
Yesterday. They were breathing down his neck. He couldn't risk communication before.
Yeah, well, thank God he's safe.
That deserves a medal.
Let's not rush our fences. Good luck for tonight. I want you all in position.
Guard, the Syrian cases are back at Heathrow, no mistake. 10 surface-to-air missiles leaving for Greece in 25 minutes. Diplomatic bag.
Check the passenger list.
It's Amora. There's something coming up. Late arrival.
Gov, Heathrow SB. Amura's boarding a flight, London to Athens. Stop or go.
Let him go.
Do we still go ahead tonight?
Yes. Stick it out.
Phone.
Brave young men. Look at them. What a bloody waste.
Yeah. But a tidy result for you, Andy.
What does that mean?
Better a dead hero than a failure on the team.
Choose your words with care, old friend.
Right. It goes like this. You liked the cut of Danny's jib. Frankly, he wasn't up to it. But he married your daughter. He charmed you into recruiting him into this elite bunch of men and women. You took him on board, and you staked your professional reputation on him. When he went over the side of that noisy meet, you knew he'd done a runner. That's why you hired me to find him, instead of authorizing a #1 hunt for an officer in danger of his life. You knew the score.
Sheer conjecture, George, and very hurtful.
Yeah. You also knew me. Not many men can manipulate George K. Bulman. You knew that I'd talked the poor bastard into doing the right thing. And you probably guessed that he'd end up on a slab.
You are presuming too much upon our friendship.
Like I said, your son-in-law's got a hero's funeral. Much tidier. Gotta hand it to you, and your piggy reputation stays intact. You've a good brain, Andrew. But in the long, cold nights ahead, oh, pal, you're gonna wake up screaming. These people are dross. For Christ's sake, don't let them rob you of humanity.
Stanley, your guest.
Con. Con, how are you? How goes the struggle?
It would be going nowhere without the good help of this young lady.
Hello, Dad.
Cass.
Next week, a more light-hearted episode when Bulman tackles the case of the chicken of the Baskervilles at 9:30 next Saturday night. In a few moments, we'll continue with international athletics from the Bislett Stadium in Oslo, featuring the Dream Mile with Steve Cram chasing his own world record. That's after the break.
Mobile One.
Do not fear, it is noticed. It gives us great pleasure to open this civic centre, and rather than me pull the cord, I shall now ask my darling wife to do the honours and pull the string.
Actually, it did need two pairs of hands.
Ready?
And a fairly hefty pull. The balloons helped to improve the view. Anthony Carthew, ITN, in Mississauga, Ontario.
And you can see a special ITN programme on the royal visit, the Duke and Duchess of York in Canada, on ITV tomorrow. It's on at different times in different parts of the country. And that's the news tonight from all of us here at ITN. A very good evening to you.
The weather forecast: outbreaks of rain will continue overnight and some could be heavy. Lowest temperatures 11 degrees centigrade and the winds fresh to strong west to southwesterly, becoming moderate southeasterly later tonight. Tomorrow will start dull and wet in most places, but drier weather, soon reaching the Isle of Man and Cumbria, will gradually spread south to all parts by the end of the morning, with clouds thinning to give some bright spells and perhaps a little sunshine in places, especially towards the coast. Scattered showers are also likely in the afternoon. One or two of these could be heavy. Temperatures reaching 17 degrees centigrade, that's 63 Fahrenheit. The winds will be fresh east to northeasterly, but occasionally strong over and near the hills. That's the weather forecast. Next tonight, a case in Cumbria for Bulman.
The Ribena berries are launching a brand new Ribena. New low-sugar Ribena Light, with all of the taste, all of the goodness, and it's lower in sugar. Of course, it contains no artificial colour or flavour. They think it's an idea that'll really take off. Low-sugar Ribena Light.
Is Britain keeping up with other countries? In Indonesia, for instance, a company is battling against all the odds to find oil, and they're doing the same in 29 other countries. In Africa and parts of the developing world, they have fridges powered totally by the sun, so vaccines can now be stored under the right conditions. And in Sweden, they're using a new home insulating foam so incredibly fire-resistant, it could save lives. And in some Middle Eastern countries, they're queuing up to buy a high-quality lubricating oil produced in Europe. So, is Britain falling behind?
You must be joking, mate. With all this going on.
Do us a favour. What do you think this is? Scots mist?
Well, Tall, who do you think's responsible for this little beauty?
Don't be daft. We're doing marvellous, man.
Well, I was only asking. BP. Britain at its best.
And did you get the tickets?
Of course. See you in Vienna at 7.
For those who appreciate Haydn recorded by the London Philharmonic, but would prefer to hear them perform it in Vienna, live. The Fiat Chroma, for those who appreciate the difference.
Why let painful, sensitive teeth cloud your day when Sensodyne can give you protection? And now there's new Sensodyne F, the toothpaste for sensitive teeth with fluoride and a really fresh, clean taste. With regular daily use, Sensodyne acts progressively to relieve the pain. Use Sensodyne and ask your dentist about sensitivity. Sensodyne toothpastes to relieve the pain of sensitive teeth.
We're always improving the Whiskas recipe. We think it's now tastier than it's ever been.
I just couldn't wait to get the tins and give it to the cats. They thought it was great.
I didn't believe that they could possibly like it anymore, but they so obviously do.
I haven't seen him eat anything as enthusiastically as he did the new recipe.
As soon as we tested the new recipe, we knew that it was one that the cats really enjoyed and that they kept on enjoying day after day. And that led us to test it with panels of cat owners, and they gave us the same response.
I've bought it, and the cats have bought it too.
Whiskas keeps getting better. That's why in tests, 8 out of 10 owners who expressed a preference said their cats preferred it.
Now George Bulman forsakes the big city for domestic service in the wilds of Cumbria to pursue his latest quarry, the dreaded chicken of the Baskervilles.
Right.
rang, my lord?
Hell's teeth, George. Don't tell me. An Eskimo?
No, my lord. Your butler. You're a ruddy maniac, Norbert, eating outdoors in weather like this.
Nonsense. Fresh air's a thing. And look at all this. Now, that beats room 323 in Trenchard House.
Oh, I don't know. Trenchard wasn't so bad. The station houses went. Now, what makes you think it was murder?
Just a hunch, George. 2 faithful retainers disappear out there on the moors. Rumours of a strange wild bird. A look of terror. And deep scratches on the face of a local girl found dead on Adam's Tor.
What did the inquestors say?
Heart failure. Possibly caused when confronted by a bird of prey, protecting its young.
Or its nosh.
All conjecture.
Yeah. And why would anybody want to murder your servants, eh?
That's what I want you to find out.
You know, Norby, maybe they just up and left. I mean, no electricity, a 4-mile walk to the nearest rubber dub. I nearly went AWOL myself this morning after only one night.
No.
Look up! Yes, look up! Seek your maker! Before Gabriel blows his horn. Well, I'm weary
Hello, STG Investigations. Ah, hello, George. How's life among the stately homes of old England? You're winding me up. No electricity.
No, he's got it, Lucy. He's got electricity, but he only switches it on when he has house guests.
But you're a house guest.
No, I'm not. I'm the bleeding butler. It's just a little cross I have to bear. Now, look, this is what I want you to do. Oh, ow, oh! Stay here.
Are you going to the village?
Hang on just a bit.
You've stalled her.
I've got mutton, Jeff. What?
Are you going straight to the village?
Yeah, but there's not much space.
Will you take Spot?
Spot?
Aye.
Oh. Woof, woof.
She's got a touch of throat, but I don't want to tire her.
Ah, all right, then. Come on, Spot.
Come on, then, Spot. Pick up.
What, you coming too? How do I know where to let it off?
Spot knows. I'm obliged to you.
All right. Now, right. That dog doesn't seem to like me.
So you're the new Mr. Shivers, are you?
Yeah. How did you know I replaced him?
Not much happens around here without everyone knowing.
No, I suppose not. Can I buy you a drink?
No, thanks.
I'm George Baker.
I know.
Huh.
Bit bleak up at Child Compton, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a funny business about Shivers and Mrs. Merriweather, wasn't it?
So his lordship told you?
Well, he just said they'd been notified as missing persons, and I just assumed that they'd run off together, you know.
Couldn't stand each other.
Where is Adam's Tor?
Oh, it's just between here and the big house. But most people give it a wide berth.
Why's that?
It's a strange part of the world, this piece of Cumberland. There are wild cats. And a family of wild eagles that went astray from a castle when it belonged to the Percys. Later, it was burned down to the ground by Hector Douglas.
When was that?
1530.
In the afternoon?
Anno Domini.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Don't tell me it's like Sicily and Ireland round here where families have long memories.
Just recently, a local girl was found dead on the side of the hill.
Yeah, I heard about that. She had scratch marks down her face.
Scratch marks? God, it was a lot worse than that.
So it's unlikely that Shivers walked back over Adam's tour that last night.
Stick to the beaten track is my motto.
Big are they, these Percy eagles?
Bigger than average.
Bigger than, say, a rooster?
Bigger than a chicken.
Oh.
Child Compton 905, arrived Penrith 9:30, change. 10:45 Preston, change. Crew at 11:45. London Euston 13:59.
What do you mean you left the tractor?
I walked back, my lord, deep in conversations over certain matters. The tractor receded into the periphery of my conscious state.
You mean you forgot it?
I'll get that, my lord.
Child Compton. Wait, who wants him? Wait. For you.
Thank you, my lord. 1,000 blessings on your noble head.
Don't overdo it.
Oh, Lucy.
Samuel Denison Shivers was indeed born on the date you gave in Lincoln. Agnes Merriweather is, was, also a bona fide entry into this world on the date given. Neither is recorded as having croaked it. Not under those names, not in England, anyway.
Yes, but Scotland's only a few miles to the north, as the family Percy found to their cost in the year 1530.
I suppose their castle was razed to the ground by marauding border hoodlums.
Bleeding know all. But what was released in the fracas to become wild and breed around Adam's tour, even to this day?
A haggis.
Eagles, you twit. Now, a spot of the old research, please. Reference the Percy Eagle. Contact the old bird at the Royal the Bird Society.
OK. Any house guests in the offing?
This weekend.
Well, try not to freeze till then.
Be touch and bleeding go.
Just think of the fee. Bye-bye.
Come along, girl. Still plenty of work to be done.
Mistress Merriweather was my superior. Not Mr. Shivers, you know.
I think we need to keep an eye on that butler.
Jake, you worry too much.
Spot didn't reckon he was on the level.
Talking to our dogs now, are we?
Spot's a shrewd judge of character, my girl.
I'm not your girl. Anyway, he's having a house party this weekend.
So?
Well, that'll keep him busy if he's trouble.
You've got an order.
From Zurich. It's money in the bank.
Don't let's be too greedy. Remember the goose that laid the golden egg?
Come here.
Percy's eagle?
There must be a more scientific name.
Well, essentially, they're falcons. Falconiformes. Sorry about that.
It's all right. I like little Richard.
Try living with it for 2 years. He'll drive you crazy. Let's take a look. Falconiformes. Family Accipitridae. Ah, here we are. Eagle, golden, Aquila chrysetos. Peregrine. That shouldn't be there. Sea eagle, Haliaetus albicilla. Ah, excellent. Aquila perkii.
So they do exist.
If the file says so, look. Rare, almost extinct breed of greater eagle, commonly known as the Percy eagle. Date from the 12th century. Mentioned by Wace and the Venerable Bede. Also sketched by Chaucer on 2 separate crusades to the Holy Land. Also made memorable by the famous music hall comedian Willie Thompson in the 1890s, when a pair of tame Percys used to swoop through the auditorium and land on various people's heads.
Sic transit gloria falconorum.
They're now a protected species.
And where are they to be found?
Strictly for bird watching, I trust.
Why, of course.
There's only one colony known to survive in Cumberland, near the old Percy Castle.
Ah.
You miss being a copper, Norbert.
George, my name is Edward, as you very well know.
Oh, this isn't a generator. It's Stevenson's bleeding rocket. You'll always be Norbert to me, Eddie.
Whatever happened to that stunning bird with the blonde hair?
What, Vanessa?
Vanessa.
Oh, yeah, she's a DS with a branch now. Hey, don't you freeze up there?
George, your blood's thinning. Yeah, I'm surprised she never got married.
Oh, she did. She married an Argentinian polo player. Got killed in the Falklands War.
Sorry to hear that. Come on, George, you're on the handle.
Oh, right. You know what you're doing, do you?
Of course. Pilot, was it?
No, a banker. Got Brahms on the day we recaptured South Georgia. Fell under an horse. Oh, why couldn't I have been a weekend guest up for the bracing air?
Wouldn't confide in you.
They don't. Oh.
Come on, George, bit of weather. Here we go.
Yes, we have lifted. Oh, electric light, radiators, hot baths.
No, I don't miss the job. I was a lousy PC, and you know it.
We had some laughs there, didn't we? What are you doing?
Trial run.
What?
We don't want our weekend guests to freeze, do we?
Norbert. Norby! Ow! Well, shivers I've more or less tied down to a last sighting, but Mrs. Merriweather's still a bleeding mystery.
So you think he's lying under some bog out there?
Oh, dead in the bracken. No one of them birds.
Those what birds?
You know, Percy Eagle.
Oh, bless you, George. Percy Eagle don't attack humans.
Oh, no? What about that girl found dead on Adam's Tor?
Oh, maybe a wildcat. Certainly not a Percy Eagle. Not a chance.
You sure?
George, I was brought up with those birds. Aquila Perkii like people.
You're looking at a power station built inside a mountain to preserve the beauty of the environment. But the environment isn't just the countryside. It's the places where we work and play. The places where we live and the quality of our lives. Thanks to electricity, we live in a brighter, cleaner world because electricity plays a vital part in everything, from keeping a check on the elements and keeping the elements in check to safeguarding national treasures by controlling the environment in art galleries. The power that enriches all our lives. Electricity, energy for life.
48, 49. They say you should never count your chickens before they're hatched. 50. But if you're a regular monthly saver with a National Savings Yearly Plan, you can. Because while interest rates elsewhere go up and down, with your yearly plan you get a guaranteed rate of return tax-free. So right from day one, you know exactly how much you'll collect in the end.
46, 47, 48.
You can count on Yearly Plan.
49,
50.
Miss McGinty.
Ms. Royal Ornithological Sock?
Society. Can I come in?
I suppose so.
Mean place. Very light. Must have some good times here.
Very droll. I didn't catch your name or why you're here. Did I leave something?
A lingering scent of Parisian perfume. French, I dare say.
It's called carbolic. How did you find me?
You gave Lady Macbeth a card. I'm Art Mason, and you're a private dick. Am I right?
Got it in one. What can I do for you?
You're not the only inquiry we've had concerning Aquila Perkii.
Would you like a drink?
Now you're talking my language. I got a call from a Cumberland payphone. And this anonymous Cumbrian wanted to know the price of a Percy eagle in the open market. It was a weird request. There's no open market for rare wild birds. It's all very much a black market.
Big money?
Healthy pair of breeding eagles varies according to scarcity and size. But I understand Aquila Perkii would fetch as much as 10 grand each.
You are a clever boy, Mr. Mason.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing typing in that place?
I like birds.
Do you now?
For instance, I know this rock and roll club. Maybe after work you and me could...
Oh, that's very kind of you, but after work I plan to retire, age 60 or thereabouts.
Full-time occupation, eh?
That's it.
Is there a Mr. McGinty?
No. Certainly not.
Excuse me.
STG? George. I think we've got an angle.
Goodbye, Miss McGinty.
Excellent work. I'm beginning to see a pattern in this particular puzzle. It may well be that we do have a murder to investigate after all. Lucy, I'm going to need you up here soon. So I'll get Norby to invite you as a weekend guest, so no nicking the spoons.
George Kitchener-Bulman, are you telling me that wasn't the first thing you checked?
Of course I asked. His lordship said no. All reason speaks against it, yet all my healthy instincts cry yes.
George, I'll call you back. Okay, bye.
Lucy?
you, Luther?
I don't see any photos of Elvis.
Lucy, this whole thing is a joke. We all come here because we like rock and roll and we enjoy a joke. That's why I dress like I do. But the king is above all this. We've got a special room for him. Upstairs. It's beautiful.
I think you're rather more into John Belushi.
Who's John Belushi? So, tell me about being a detective.
Hey!
Wer ist das?
Ach, das ist nur ein Butler.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. You're at your dinner.
Oh, I'll grab it when I can.
Shane, be quiet, will you? I want to apply for a shotgun license.
Come in. You live locally, do you?
Yeah, I'm the new butler up at Child Compton.
Yeah. The big house?
Yeah.
Right. Shotgun. Here we are. Try not to encourage people to keep shotguns.
Quite right, too.
You'll have to get it signed by a character witness.
Will the Earl of Kilmartin do?
Reckon.
What happened to the last butler?
Shivers?
Yeah.
So it's me. We notified Carlisle and Newcastle. Put it on the National Missing Persons computer, plus the cook.
Oh, yeah, Mrs. Merriweather. Now, did she disappear at the same time?
About 3 months apart.
Oh, yeah, and you searched the moors, yeah.
Oh, aye, but out there they could have gone into a bog.
Well, both of them? That's a bit strange, isn't it?
We've had some right thick fogs these past few months.
Oh, yeah. Then there's them eagles up at Adam's Tor.
Quite right. Bloody fierce beasts these are.
Can't stand people, I hear.
Go for 'em. Killed a young girl only recently. Local lass. Best stay well clear.
Ah, steer clear of Adam's Tor, eh?
I would. Nobody wants their eyes ripped out now, do they?
Oh, no. No, definitely not. So... Oh, can't remember the name of the coroner, can you?
Ibbotson, why?
Never know when you might need one.
I can dig being a private eye.
Oh, can you now?
Chivers and Merriweather. Maybe there is a connection. Maybe they were already married.
They hated each other.
Why would two people carry on working together for all these years if they didn't get on?
Come on.
It's just, some marriages are like that. Partnerships.
Right, money, loyalty to their employer. That's 2 good reasons.
You did check the marriage registry all the way back to when they would have been an age to get married. You know, any time from when they were about 18.
No.
Well, if I was a private dick, that's what I'd do.
Well, it's highly unlikely.
Just to eliminate the possibility.
I'll do it in the morning.
Righto, what are you going to be for start here now then? 700, 600, then I'll take anywhere for start. 5 bid. At 500 bid again this time in the morning. 5 bid at 10, 5 10, at 20, 5 30. 540 bid again at 50, 5 50.
It'll not reach 600.
5
£5 says 650.
20, 630, 640, 650 anymore this time. You're out.
Dr. Ibbotson. That's me. Oh, I'm Detective Chief Inspector George Bulman, retired. Currently employed as an investigator in the private sector.
Gumshoe?
Yeah.
You're not employed by his wife, eh?
No, I don't handle divorce.
How can I help you?
You are the county coroner.
From yourself.
Do you recall the case of the girl who was found dead on Adam's Tor, near Compton Village?
Yes, I recall the case. A verdict of
Death by misadventure.
Yeah, I'm particularly interested in the scratch marks.
Scratch marks? Bloody great gouges. Furrows deep into the facial flesh.
Caused by...
Professor Mackey carried out the autopsy.
Caused by 4 strong talons. I found traces of mouse fur and tree bark in the wounds.
Yeah, could it have been a wildcat?
Not a chance. Cats have 5 claws. When spread for killing, they make a pattern like this.
4 parallel gashes. 6 sets.
And the eagle's 4 talons are in a very easily recognizable pattern. Like this.
6 sets. Would that be 3 for each leg?
Strangely, no. It was only the right foot.
Probably holding onto a jacket with the left foot to give it purchase.
Yeah, but that wasn't the cause of death.
Heavens, no. The girl died of fright.
Just 1 set of claws.
They're very ferocious, these kind of birds, you know.
Yeah, without being impertinent, Doctor, are you familiar with Aquila Perkii?
Actually, no, but we had local evidence.
Do you mind if I ask from whom?
See, why not? A local sheep farmer, name of Stevenson.
And the local policeman.
Took that as acceptable evidence.
Oh, yeah, of course. Why not? Terrible death.
These birds should be put down. Protected species, indeed.
Wonderful hunters, though. Hey, what if I was to prove to you that the Percy eagle is an amiable bird?
I'd reopen the inquest.
I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you, gents.
£5 says we haven't seen the last of him.
Of activity in the city today. But now for his thoughts of the day.
If you think I'm a wicked lady, if you're tempted by my evil charm, if I appear to be fast, way ahead of my class, does a little bit of what you fancy do you harm? I'm a child of the new generation. I was born to be held in your arms. So why not try just a touch if your heart beats too much? Can a little bit of what you fancy do you harm? Oh yeah! Can a little bit of what you fancy?
The Montego 1.6L. Love at first sight.
They are the jewels in the British crown. But what lies behind the glitter? Tomorrow, in the Sunday Times, an exclusive report examines their relationship and asks, are they really royal rivals? They may be friends, but is the Duchess stealing the limelight from the princess? Is there a duel in the crown? Read the report in the Sunday Times.
Plus, the battle over Spycatcher, the book the government wants to ban, exclusively in the Sunday Times tomorrow.
In Do It All Summer Sale, there's 50 pence off 6 litres of Magicoat Brilliant White. Colour roll wallpapers from 99 pence a roll. And 18 Simone ceramic pane tiles, only £2.99. And that's not all you get from Do It All Summer Sale.
Everywhere there's a helpful do it all idea. It's flash, it's cool, it's wild, it's free. It's a hit, it's a go crazy. It's heading downtown, it's Saturday night, it's hanging around, it's doing it right. It's just how you feel when you know it's for real. It's a kid, it's a hit, it's a Coke, yeah, Coca-Cola is it.
When you go to sleep, don't fall prey to the nighttime terrors like ghouls and specters. And spots. Spots just love the night. But they hate Clearasil because it removes the oil and dirt ordinary washing leaves behind. Clearasil lotion cleanses pore deep with an antibacterial action. And so does Clearasil milk for combination skin. Use their cleansing power mornings and at night, and you'll help prevent spots going bump in the night.
Collect 6 vouchers and trade them in for any of these great designs, or save 50 for the picnic rugs.
Such a selection in the summer collection. Gotta save them up.
birds there.
Da sind die Vögel, da.
Nicht schlecht. Aber die müssen erst gezähmt werden.
He says they have to be tamed first.
Of course. Tell him I've trained a similar pair to hunt myself.
Hat welche fürs Jagen trainiert.
12,000 ein paar von denen.
12,000 pounds for the pair.
20,000. 10,000 each, or tell him to catch them himself.
20.000, 10.000 das Stück oder Sie können sie selber fangen.
Nein, 15,000. Maximum.
15,000, take it or leave it.
18,000.
18.000.
17,000 in alten Banknoten ist alles, was ich habe.
17,000 in used banknotes. That's all he's got, he says.
Ask him why they're gone.
Because, my dear Sarah, I do not trust you.
Now, if she'd left it all spotless, Mr. Baker, I'd have said, Agnes Merriweather, you've just walked out on us.
Done a runner, eh?
Correct. Oh, but the mess she left behind.
Breakfast and lunch dishes, silver tarnish, plus a sewing box, and a dressing table full of odds and ends.
A photo of us all at the hunt dinner.
All in our costumes, like something out of Queen Victoria's times.
But his lordship said there were no photos of her. Not recent ones, anyway.
What would he know?
Shh. Mrs. Faraday, the menu.
I'm doing 2 legs of lamb with eggs Benedict to start, a melon water rice between courses, some game consomme, and your lordship's favourite to finish.
Champion. Ladies, we would never know that Mrs. Merriweather had gone.
May we know the names of the house guests, my lord?
Peg?
No. It's Lord Millport and his wife, Lady Nancy. I met her in the house, and Duffy Millport was my tutor at Cambridge.
Ah, yes, my lord. Now master of Old College.
How very prescient of you, Baker. And now for the ceremony of the silver.
Silver, my lord.
Yes, of course. We open up the silver room, choose some pieces for the table, and little Peg here polishes like mad. And then you and I perform the other house guest ceremony.
Huh? The electricity.
Indeed.
Anything short, is it, my lord?
On the house.
No, the silver.
Oh, God, no. Think of the premium. Prepare to feast your eyes.
You did count it all after Shivers and Merriweather disappeared?
Well, of course not. There's only this key.
God, Bennett!
It all seems to be here.
And you're sure that nothing's been nicked?
George, the reason I'm coughing up an exorbitant £300 a day for a maximum of 10 days is because, poor copper though I was, that instinct for crimes committed and unpunished remains untarnished. And right now, it's so tangible. And I don't mean theft. I mean murder. To tell you the truth, my ear gets hot. This one.
With me, it's my knee. You weren't that bad a copper, Norby. They had you marked down for Bramshill, you know.
Really? Well, when Father died, that was that. Detective Constable Lord Child Cumtham became the 17th Earl of Kilmartin. And here we are.
It's chest-bleeding gentry.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. In about 44,000 acres. But includes 8 shooting syndicates rented out to Cunard, IBM and Plessy. 5 stretches of very, very good salmon river. 11 farms. Oh, must bring in about 800 a year.
800 pounds.
1,000, George. 800,000. Tax is an absolute nightmare.
Ah, you poor thing.
Mason. May God and all his angels guard your celestial Wally Doug.
It's for you!
Hello. This is Mr. Mason?
Have you got time to do some sleuthing?
For sure.
Okay, here's where to meet me.
Let there be light.
And hot baths, central heating.
And if you get properly dressed, we'll just make it to the station.
What for?
Pick up our house guests.
In a tractor?
No, old boy.
Jumping Geronimo. Oh.
We may have to hand crank it.
The what?
The Rolls Royce.
You know, I hate you, Norbert.
Maybe you should take the shades off.
Did I tell you how to drive the car?
That argument borders on zen.
And did I find our loving couple?
Possible couple.
Voters register? Shivers, Samuel Denison, Agnes, etc.?
Well, we'll see.
Have you come about the ad?
We're looking for a Mr. and Mrs. Shivers.
Who wants them?
Lord Kilmartin's been most concerned about you.
Well, you can tell him we're fine. You see, you're Mormon.
Given up on the Grecian 2000, I see.
I understand they call you Norbert in the police force.
Oh, Duffy.
Scurrilous rumour. I'll get Bulman, that is, Baker, to take the bags. Baker!
So you did issue a ticket that night?
Aye. Yes, there were 2 to Glasgow and 1 to Crewe.
Baker!
But I wasn't on duty, so I don't know who sold it.
Right, thanks, mate.
Coming, my lord!
I was in the pub one night, and I was starting to trudge the 4 miles back to Compton.
His lordship wouldn't let Sam drive one of his motors.
It was a rotten night, raining. Samuel Denison Chivers, I said to myself, what in the name of God are you doing with your life?
So you just turned and made for the railway station?
Weren't you terribly worried?
Silly old fool. I thought he'd gone and fallen into a bog.
Or gotten attacked by one of them birds.
Then he wrote to me and said, Aggie, wait till I get fixed up with a job and you'll save a few months' pay, which I did.
Got a concession for paraffin eaters.
We've always had this little flat.
Hedge against inflation.
Everyone thought you hated each other.
We had our ups and downs.
Plus, their lordships paid less to married couples.
And you had separate rooms?
Most of the time.
Well, we live and learn. Why paraffin heaters?
Have you been up to Compton?
Not yet.
Baker, we want to get home.
Why do you think he's got to go?
He seems to think we'll take the money and forget about the birds.
And what about the snoopers?
They'll get what the girl got.
Left, turn left. Baker. Left, Baker. Baker, we turn left. Baker, we want to go left. Baker, you're fired!
Do you speak, my lord?
Sehen diese Leute?
Ach, verrückte Aristokraten.
Very melodious, my lord and lady. I believe you rang, my lord.
Rang? Oh, yes. At what time is my other weekend guest expected?
Oh, any time now, my lord.
Hope we're not kept waiting. After all, as Pliny once said, carpe diem, quam minimum credulabavo postiro.
If I may correct you, sire, it was in fact that arch-poor Horace, and I don't believe he couched the allusion in the subjunctive.
Not now, Baker. Been to night school, Duffy.
Open University, actually, Your Eminence. Ah, it clamor. Et agmine facto quadrupedente putrum sonitu quartet ungula campum. Excuse me.
Angela, very bloody campum, if you ask me.
Ah! Lucy! You made it.
Why shouldn't I? George, this is a friend of mine. Art Mason, George Bulman. Sorry, should I call you Baker?
No, George will do.
I suppose I better call you Baker.
Yes, Mr. Baker.
Art had the brilliant idea that Samuel and Agnes were married 30 years ago, so it was he who discovered that they're really Mr. and Mrs. Shivers.
Well, he did. You did.
Art's with the Royal Ornithological Society, so he has a bona fide reason for coming up here.
Oh, researcher.
Typist.
He's very keen on rock and roll.
Makes no odds. The house is full of nutters already. Oh, tell me about the Shivers.
Who to each other like sister and brother, but somehow they feel all alone. They miss those two birds who've been untrue. That's why those bluebirds are blue.
You don't seem very surprised.
After 10 days in this stately heap, I am not surprised. Oh, I had a word with the booking clerk at British Rail. I figured maybe Shivers took a train out of here. Just on impulse.
Oh, George, after all our hard work.
But you found them.
Art did.
Yeah, what's the score with him? I mean, is he blind or what?
No, he's demented.
Oh. Well, let's go and tell Norbert.
So there wasn't a murder after all?
Oh, I think perhaps there was. Oi!
Take your bags up to the first floor. Turn left. Your room is first on the left. Lucy's is at the far end. Last door on the right. And the floor squeaks.
Well, I know a cat called Wee Out Willie. He's got a cool little chick called Rockin' Billy. Just a walking
No, this is silly.
Oh, come on, Squiffy, you've got to keep up with the young. I've got it. Oh,
Papa said, Willie, you ruin my home.
My lord. If I might dabble you for you, Norbert.
Did anyone ring?
On the subject of murder, my lord.
Well, Lucy here says that they're alive and well.
and living in married bliss, according to Mr. Mason here, right, Art?
Right, Chortles.
No, the local girl.
attacked by that bleeding chicken of the Baskervilles.
But the inquest...
Relied on information supplied by one Jake Stevenson, sheep farmer, and the local PC, both of whom we have observed, my lord, proceeding towards the scene of alleged crime, together with the landlady of the local boozer, and some cove with a Zurich registration Range Rover, name of Hoffman.
I hear you, George.
And we do have in your barn, my lord, the means to verify one way or another if their purpose is innocent.
Would it be possible to have a cup of tea?
Oh, shut up, Duffy. Oh, I give up. You must have natural rhythm in you, Art.
George Kitchener Bulman, you are worth every penny of 300 a day.
Most gratifying, my lord.
George, can we lay on the law at such short notice?
The law in these parts may not be above reproach.
So, it's down to us.
Yippee, a pussy!
George, Art, and me, just the three of us.
4.
5 and 6 with Duffy. He's a demon with a 12 bore.
What will we be shooting?
People!
Oh, capital. I say, will your blind friend be coming?
About 20 feet over there, eh? Okay.
Aquila Perkii.
Enemy at 4 o'clock!
No, that's not the enemy.
Was ist das?
Jesus.
Come on, let's get out of here. Come on!
Hawkeye, the blue leader. Hobo.
Who the hell is that?
It's his lordship's plane. And that damn butler. I told you he was trouble.
You just drive, will you?
You English play at everything.
Well, this is not a game.
Hawkeye, descending from Angels. Vector 180. Sorry about that, blue leader.
What will we have for murder?
You speak for yourself.
blue leader. Bandits at 3 o'clock. 10 seconds to intercept. Echelon, starboard, go!
Amateur.
Drop it.
I say, steady on, Chortles.
Out!
Come on.
Give that to me.
I told you we were too greedy.
So this is it. The murder weapon. The chicken of the Baskervilles.
Bulman finds himself skating on thin ice at the same time, 9:30 next Saturday. There is a paperback based on the series entitled Thin Ice, published by Javelin Books, price £2.95, available in bookshops.